This is my annual complaint. To stop walking down the sidewalk, shoulder to shoulder, like this is a middle school fucking dance. Nobody gives a shit about your codependent relationship. I just want sidewalk that I can traverse on, right? So you don't need to hold hands. You don't need to walk shoulder to shoulder. You don't need to do this cutesy bullshit like this is fucking 7th grade. This is Philadelphia, 2023. You're an adult. Stop fucking holding hands. Move to the side so people can get by both ways. I'm fucking done with it, straight people. They should have never given you people the right to marry.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a great and wonderful day. Well, now we have some interesting stuff. Of course, unfortunately, a leftist has paid the price. But again, this is something that I don't wish death upon anyone, but this is what happens when you are an insane person and you think that things are all A-okay, and then something tragedy happens to you. We have this. Leftist journalist who downplayed violent crime gunned down in his Philly home. Josh Kruger, a leftist journalist and activist who was based in Philadelphia, was shot and killed inside his home on Monday. Kruger had a long history of downplaying violent crime in the city, often openly mocking those who expressed concerns about homicides in Philadelphia. We have this from Andy No, yet again. We have breaking. Leftist journalist and activist Josh Kruger has been tragically shot dead at his Philadelphia home. Kruger has long downplayed gun violence in his city and publicly chastised others who spoke about it. We have we're going to look at some of the things that he's been saying here. So we have local journalist Josh Kruger fatally shot inside Point Breeze home. It goes on. Look, it's that lawless land of liberals in Philly where shootings are dropping to levels not seen in years. Some idiot just said you're more likely to get shot and killed than die of COVID in Philly to make some insensitive rhetorical point for his side. Folks, 4 times as many Philadelphians have died of COVID than gunshots this year. I understand math is hard, but do better. Goes on to say, bro, speak for your block, mine isn't ruined. The city isn't ruined. And just because Larry Krasner keeps winning in landslides, it doesn't mean Philly is a heap of cinders and ashes no matter how much people say. Like the rest of the country, we are dealing with upticks in crime. Yes, you're absolutely correct. But it seems that you're also lying. And we also have this here as well. Philadelphia has gone on this. He was tragically shot down in his home. He was has long criticized law enforcement, downplay gun violence in his city, and advocated for political violence against his opponents. Now that I'm no longer in government, I can finally say publicly it's not wrong to punch Nazis. He says you don't know how to properly report. Black offenders account for 40% of white victims. Meanwhile, white offenders account for 57% of white victims. I'm assuming you're acting in bad faith, much like supremacists do. You might be a Nazi, but you argue as they do. And he says there is such a thing as ethical consumption in an inherently exploitative capitalist society. Goes on to say, you know what else does nothing? The shootings unit. They catch a mere 1 in 5 shooters. So let's add homicide detectives who only catch 1 in 3 murders. If you want to talk about doing nothing, those are the facts. And yeah, that's pretty much what he has to say about all this. He even says, he goes on to say here, man on dating site. To be honest, I like other places and then better than Philly. Me, blocked. Man on dating site, still alive. Oof, that's gonna sting. No arrests have been made in connection to the shooting. Kruger was known for being openly far left in his views, as vehemently against political views that did not align with his own. Can't wait for my new pin to go on my backpack. No one's treading on you, sweetie. He says, in a video he posted on X in August, Kruger granted against straight people, along with a caption that called for them to unclasp your goddamn hands for a second so your opposite direction sidewalk neighbors can traverse the highway without being tossed by your beastly partner into the gutter. Share the road straights. And he says, I'm fucking done with straight people. Kruger complained they should have never given you the right to marry. Kruger had a history of being against the police. The leftist journalist brought up Philadelphia shootings unit and homicide detectives in the context of if one wants to talk about nothing. You know what else does, and he goes on to say, it is admitted that racism is so important about a third of this nation that they rather live in autocracy and piss over the flag they supposedly all ally themselves to rather than accept that non-white people's lives and voices matter. Racism is the only reason Donald Trump ever became president. Racism is the only reason through lying and the fanatic tried to Trumpism. It was racism during the KKK March of Washington, Lindbergh's crypto-Nazi America first, and the John Birch Society, and it's racism today too. Yes, because Trump is the actual racist one. Where we have Joe Biden saying that if you vote for him, you're not black, calling black people monkeys, and many other racist stereotypes. But of course, Josh Kruger, that is the case. Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner described Kruger as an openly queer writer who wrote about his own journey surviving substance use disorder and homelessness. He was also recognized by the LGBTQ plus adversity committee, who called him a comrade who never stopped advocating for queer Philadelphians living on the margins of society. His struggles mirrored so many of ours, from community rejection to homelessness, to addiction to living with HIV to poverty, and his recovery, survival, and successes show what's possible when politicians and elected leaders reject bigotry and work affirmatively to uplift all people, the committee said of Kruger. So yeah, this man, unfortunately, his life was ended. Also, I'm not going to go out and say I'm going to miss such an individual that advocated hated so many other people that did not like his side, and that he, started lying, and unfortunately, karma and rightfully just and honestly, got what he, deserved. I mean, at some point, karma catches up to you, and this is something that got up to him. I don't wish death upon people, but when you advocate for things like this, it's only a matter of time until something bad happens. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, share. As always, take care.